Hello friends, today I am going to discuss Spark and what is the Spark and how do we use a Spark in the Pythons. And so let's see the what is the Spark. Just Spark we can say like it is a analytical engines for a large scale of data processing. So most of the time we will see it's a provide a very accurate outputs and so it has so many raw materials here data it comes and the data insights visualizations models and so in the Python you can see the PySpark. So if I am using a Python like a Jupyter notebooks, like just I am using a Google Colab, so need to the install something, import PySpark. So Spark to an the analytical factory you can say here, and it's a like a like a factory will often gain a more capacity for increasing its footprint. Spark it can process an increasingly vast amount of data by scaling out instead of scaling up like across multiple simpler machines and adding a more resources such as the CPU, RAM and disk space or a single machines. Uh, RAM, unlike the most things in this world that gets the most expensive, the more you buy. So there is no need if you are working on the Google Colab. So it's a provide a free RAM and GPU, CPU, TPU. So don't worry. And so it's a very helpful. Let's see here just in the Python just I am using a PySpark, so I think just you are comfortable and then you can see here, look here, this is the PySpark and I am going to the install like a exclamation pip install PySpark. And there is the few components is also very important in the PySpark. If I am working on the Jupyter Colab, so from pyspark.sql imports Spark sessions. So Spark I can create some other variable like a Spark session dot builder and dot apps names. You can write anything just according to you and get or create apps. So sc it can like a alias as a spark context is the very important and SQL context like a we are representing as a Spark. So if you want to the read like a spark.read and dir speak, so you can see the you can easily read this Spark sessions and these are the so many classes has been given the Sparks. So PySparks is an the entry point to a Python in the computational model of Spark. So Spark itself is coded in Scala, is the other language. No, I am not talking about the Impala. It's the different. Like we are not using the hypes and others, so it's the replacement of the hypes and other things. So don't worry. So the authors like see here, Python is a dynamic and general purpose language, so available on the many platforms and for a variety of tasks, and its versatility and expressiveness make it an especially a good fit for PySpark. So the language is one of the most popular for a variety of domain and currently it is a major force in a data analysis and science. So PySpark provides access not only to the core Spark API but also set a bespoke functionally to scale out regular Python code as well as a pandas transformations. Panda is the very important library in the Pythons. So we are import pandas as a pd way. So the Python's data analysis ecosystems panda is de facto data frame library in the memory bounds and data frames. So it's a good. So let's see here. So why we are using a pyspark? So there is no shortage of the library in the frameworks and to work with the data. So pyspark has a lot of advantage for a modern data workload. So it sits at interactions of fast, expansive, and versatile. So PySpark is the fast and big data for it's a big data, and it's a very good chance that the Hadoop will come up within a first few results. So there is a good reason for this. Hadoop popularized the famous map reducing framework that Google pioneers in 2004 and inspires the how the data processing at a scale. So Spark was like you can say just beyond the pythons being the one of the most popular and the easy to learn a language like a PySpark API has been designed from the ground up like easy to understand PySpark. So after this let's see just I have already written this and we are going to the collect data and we will use like a PySparks. Uh, so PySpark also gives the so many supports like it can use like a other platform also. You can connect easy way to the others. So it's a so let's see the PySpark like a one factory and so the totally is the relatables data factory and outside in and suppose you can say the 90% of the time we create about the whole factory but knowing how it is laid out helps when reflecting on our code performance in our clusters like as you can see here. So like in the cluster manager we can see the like a cluster managers and we can like just suppose we are creating the worker 1 worker 2 worker 3 worker 4 and the old columns like a 1 4 4 and something and worker 2 like a 5 7 7 and we are creating the wife worker 3 like a 7 10 40. So how do we work? Like see first we can add it and we can write like a 9 and it will be like a it's a some counting numbers. So there are three numbers so we can like a tuples and 9 comma 3. Similarly the worker 2 we will do the same process and worker 3 we do the same process. So it's a very simple and it's the easiest way like a count. So each worker has the symbol of the data and perform and the intermediate steps to get the sum and the count of the each chunk of the data frames and the intermediate data much smaller than the original data frame is then sent to a single worker for a further reduction. So we finally get out the desired answer. The Spark effectively hides the complexity of efficiently distributing the computations across nodes. So we get out like an advantage and node focuses. So data frame like and one more thing just of like a Spark uh, is a factory and it is made the efficient through and lazily do. So we will use also like the master Spark. You can use like as a master is like a factory owners allocating resources as needed to the complete the jobs. The driver is responsible for completing a given job. So it requests resources from the master as needed. A worker is a set of computing memory resources like a workbench in our factory. Executor set stop a worker and perform the work sent by the driver like employees at a workbench. So, printing informations on screens, writing data to a hard drive or cloud buckets, counting the number of reports. So PySpark does not evaluate all data transformations, including reading data. So a variable containing a series of data frame transformations will return almost immediately as no data work is being performed. Let's suppose spark.read.csv with the columns where, group by, and count. So this the write.cv explicitly writes the data to disk, and operation where PySpark actually writes or show data is collect and action and trigger the actual data work. So no action, no visible results, no work, that is a laziness. So breaking down the data frame instruction as a series of transformation and one action. So each job Spark will perform consists to a zero or a more transformation and one action. So the transformations are pretty much everything. As the some example of transformations are followed, like adding a columns to a table, performing an aggregations according to a certain keys, computing a summary statistics, training a machine learning models. So why the designations, and you might ask, so when thinking about like a computations over data, you as a developer are the only concerned about computations leading to an action. So first, like eager evaluations, first we can create a number of the columns we can using like a where, and then we can using like group by functions, and then we can like a count. So let's see the practice, the how to create these things. So don't worry. So we try to the learn like a read and write the data, variety of the sources and formats, deal with the messy data with the PySpark data, manipulations functionality, and discover a new data sets and perform the exploratory data analysis, build data pipelines that transform, summarize, and get insight from data in automated fashion, and troubleshoots common PySpark error and how to recover from them and to avoid them first. So many things. So and let's see here. Just I have already created, and now I am going to the collector data from like a GitHub. So this is the we are cloning a data from a GitHub. So clone git clone, and I can use. So I can get I have got all these data at this platform here. So could you see how? Let's see. Just I am going to the running in front of the you with the live here. So it's a working and not working, so you can also like understand properly. So you need to the right and do the practical with me. So let's see, just it has been working and initializing. I hope it's running. So sometime we have gotten a problem, don't worry, it's all right. So it will take because I am working as a Google Colab platform. So if you don't have an idea like a Google, so let's go on the website like a Google Colab and you create your own, and create your own Jupyter notebook. So you can, if you are going, yeah, you are uh, so your project will be visualized for the everyone, and if you are going for interview, so you can easily handle your Google Colab platform. Otherwise so many platform, don't worry, just you can do the visual basic Visual Studio codes, and you can also use like this Kaggles and the other platform. These are the base platform. So I hope so it has been done, and it is just like a successfully built like a PySpark. And after that I'm going to the, there is the some more components there is a need to install here. So like a pyspark.sql, import the spark session. This is the very important, otherwise your code is not working. So let's see, just I have written this code, so you try also and you can write this code. There is no need to the write the analyze the vocabulary of the pride and prejudice and get created. So let's see, and another the alias I am using like a sc and a spark like for the sql. So after that, just I am using here like a clone the sum file. There is a need to the sum file, so I have created like a sum file. So you can see your file from at this platform, so everywhere. And now book, I am using the book.spark.read text file because I am collecting a text file. So it's a very important to understand. So this is the text file, this is the CSV file, this is XML file. So first try, and you have to use like some functions according to your files here. So let's see here. So just I am already, so yeah, it's taking a more time because you have a like a big file, so need to the understand here. So let's it's a, yeah, it's a take a time, don't worry, it takes time. Just and after that then I will see you just where is your book and how to the copy and paste your book from this file here. And you can also collect your data from Kaggles and other according to the API, so don't worry. And you can clone the any other websites also, like you can create a API and count it here. So it has been done, I think just it will take a few seconds. And now we are going, so I am creating a one of the book and spark dot read dot text, and I have, yeah, it's my file has been done. So let's see, the my file is here. I can see a data, look here. So you can copy and paste like a path, so you can go here and you can create a number of the paths. And if you go the inside of this, so you can go if just you what do you want. So I have taken this file, so you can go here and you can open again. So this is your file and this is my file, so you can get here path. So copy this path and here you can write. It's clear, so I hope it will be the clear for everyone. So the books, and you can see the data frame and print the book dot data type, so you can easily see your data types and book and print the schema. So schema, what is the schema? Just if you want to see something more like a, so you can print here like a book dot schema. So let's see, first I have collected a data and loading a data. Now we are going to the transform the data, so either via the few simple instructions or very complex machine learning models, and then we can export and the resulting of this data. So the data is later into the visualizations. And just if you are going to like introduce the some basic workflow with the PySpark via the creations of the simple ETL, means ETL is extract, transform and load. So which is the more business spark way, saying the in just transform and export, don't worry. So if you have created like a sales and now the setting the py cell, so just I have done all these things. So py spark session. So one of the most important questions, why do we use the PySpark sessions? So try to understand the section in the PySpark sessions object. It's a role as an entry point to the PySpark functionality with a program. So knowing how it is created and use remove the sum of the magic and getting a PySpark setup. So it also explain how to connect a PySpark within an existing REPL and simplifying the integrations with the Python's IDE and tools here. So PySpark uses like a builder pattern. So the PySpark session.builder object for those familiar with the object-oriented programming. So a builder pattern provides the sets the method to create the high configurable object without having a multiple construction. And these chapters we will only just look the happiest case like a PySpark session builder pattern, and we will become increasingly just it will be the helpful. So we have already done these things, and now the configure how the chat sparks the log level, so many things. So set the log level if you want to the deciding the how the chatty you want to the PySpark to be. So there are the log level some key like a opt, no logging at all, and fatal FATAL. So only the fatal errors, and errors you will the fatal so as well. The other recoverable errors WAR1 add the warnings and info we will give the runtime. So these are the, and one of the log level keywords contain like a debug. So we will provide the debug informations of your job trace, and will trace your job. It can quite and informative but the very annoying also everything like here. And mapping our programs like just if you are going to the introduce to your problem statements, so the most popular words use the like English language, and so we are the mapping the major steps of the programming language like one is the read. So read the input data, tokenized each words, clean, so remove any punctuations and tokens this are aren't word, and count means count the frequency of the each word present in the text, and now just return the top 10 and top 20 and these type of things. So I have taken like this, and let's go ahead book. So I have done here, and just I am going to the here I am using the tourniquet. So tourniquet means if you want to see in the more width, so I am using here the tourniquets, and we can see here more width. And now splitting the our lines like a text into the arrays. So let's see here just I have, so it depends on the it's your this function. So if I will give a space, so your word will be the change here like just here. So let's see, I didn't run I think here this one, so I need to the learn. I have done here, so I have taken here. I hope it's running here. Okay, because I am running the twice, so I don't think yeah it's running. I have gotten here, and book print schema just it has done here, and now I have want to the see here the book show here. It had been you can see the head of this, but if you write here like a 10, 20 and 30, so if I write here the 10, so it will see here the top 10 rows. So only we can see here the totally 20 rows, so 10 rows, sorry for that. And if tourniquets just I am using, so you can say your size of the width will be increased. Now if I write here like 300 tourniquets, so it will be increase of more. So you will see just your number. So you can see here like a 50 enhance of 70, so your size will also increase here. So look like this. Okay, so this is a way we can understand these things. It's not a look here. So you can see only the top 17 rows. Similarly, just if you are look like the splitting out these words, so now you can see here. But if I can lines just book dot select and splitting this line, so just if I am doing this work, so what happens? Just each letter has been, so you can remove the any punctuations. You can, so this is the tokenizations of the words, so don't worry. So this is a way we can create the number of the words. Now the selecting the value and the column on this, so you can use this functions like a book dot select, book dot select, like a value is the all the different way. So all of the you can get the output like a similar. And splitting the our lines of a text into the list of words. So let's see, just we can do here like here. Okay, so I can splitting and I can see here like this lines from this here. After that, just I have done here, and our data the frame, if you want to use like a select form and other, and if you want to the rename of this column, so it's a possible, yes it's a possible, so you can change the rename of this column, select like a book value and others as splitting here. So you can use here like this, the automatically you can use so alias, and you can change any words if you want to the columns, if you want to the explodes, so explodes this, explode the lines here, this one look there, so you can do this way. But if you want to change here like a comma, you want to the remove the commas here, so look here, here you can see there's some commas like a this one. Okay, let's see the comma here, some commas, but we can easily remove the some spaces if you want to the unexpected space, so you can see here the spaces or remove your spaces also. And you can also convert like the all words like in the lower cases. So these are the, so filtering the frame, and where the filters also you can see the non-null, non no null. So no null means don't have the any space here, so you do not have the space between the. Now if you want to the count your letters, so it's a group will equal to words and underscore non nil dot group by column, and you can see here the group, and this one is the object, and result will equal to the words non nil dot group by like a columns and data frame here. So let's see, you can easily count these words. So these are a way we can extract a very easy way your uh, text data. So it's the easiest way to the, you can use a pyspark and you can extract these things in the very easiest way. If you are, if you want to do a work as it like a big data analyst, and this will be the helpful for the everyone, and this will be the complex analysis. So I hope it will be helpful to someone, and thank you very much for, thank you very much.